on Bench Briefs, we're looking at a recent Supreme Court of Canada decision that explores important questions about how criminal law principles are applied when assessing an accused person's conduct. The case is R v Vernelus, decided in December 2022, and it offers valuable insights into the legal standards that courts use to evaluate evidence and ensure a fair trial. At its core, this case involves Mr. Vernelus, who faced criminal charges related to his actions in a particular situation. While the details of the alleged offenses are complex, the heart of the matter is how the law interprets and applies the facts presented against him. The journey of this case through the courts culminated in the Supreme Court's review, where the justices had to carefully consider not only what happened, but how the law should respond. So, what exactly happened? The facts revolve around conduct attributed to Mr. Vernelus that led to criminal charges. Although the specific nature of the offenses isn't spelled out in detail here, we know that the case involved evidence that was scrutinized at trial to determine whether it supported a conviction. The trial court evaluated this evidence and reached a verdict, but questions arose about whether the legal standards applied were correct and whether the evidence was sufficient to uphold that verdict. This brings us to the key legal issues the Supreme Court had to decide. First, the court examined how to properly interpret and apply the relevant criminal law principles to the accused conduct. This means looking at what the law requires to establish guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, and how to assess whether the accused's actions meet those requirements. Second, the court considered the admissibility and sufficiency of the evidence presented at trial. In other words, was the evidence allowed under the rules of law, and was there enough credible proof to justify a conviction? This is crucial because a conviction must rest on solid legal footing and reliable evidence, ensuring the accused's right to a fair trial is protected. Third, the court reviewed the legal tests that should be applied when evaluating the offenses charged. These tests provide a framework for judges and juries to decide whether the accused's conduct meets the legal definition of the crime. The Supreme Court's role was to confirm or clarify these standards to guide lower courts in future cases. Finally, the court looked at whether any errors in law or procedure during the trial might have affected the fairness of the process or the validity of the conviction. This is an important safeguard in the justice system, as procedural fairness helps maintain public confidence and protects individual rights. Why does this case matter beyond the parties involved? R v Vernelus. Vernelus highlights the ongoing challenge courts face in balancing thorough legal analysis with the need for fairness and accuracy in criminal trials. The Supreme Court's decision helps reinforce the principles that evidence must be carefully evaluated and legal standards consistently applied. This ensures that convictions are based on sound reasoning and that accused persons receive a fair hearing. Moreover, the case serves as a reminder of the critical role appellate courts play in reviewing trial outcomes. By scrutinizing legal interpretations and procedural correctness, the Supreme Court helps maintain the integrity of the criminal justice system. This case also offers guidance for lawyers, judges, and students about how to approach similar issues in future criminal proceedings. In sum, R v Vernelus is more than just a dispute about one individual's conduct. It's a touchstone for understanding how criminal law principles operate in practice, how evidence is weighed, and how fairness is preserved in the courtroom. It underscores the importance of clear legal standards and careful judicial oversight in upholding justice. Thank you for listening to this episode of Bench Briefs. Be sure to join us next time as we explore another fascinating case shaping Canadian law. Until then, stay curious and keep questioning.